Well, hello and welcome back to Overcoming Obstacles. We made it up to session 10. It's kind of hard to believe. We've been together for 9 weeks or 9 sessions on this. But we have gone through the first module. Overcoming Obstacles, there's 4 modules. 20 lessons altogether, or sessions. And we've been through 9 of them, so we've got a session 10, which is really going to be an overview and a summary of the first 9. So I'm going to back out of here real quick and hang in with me till the end here because we've got another affirmation in the back and got a couple other little cool things for you that'll help you kind of put it all together. And if you haven't been through all the sessions, you can hit us up on our YouTube channel. It's probably the best place. Just go up there, subscribe, and go back and catch all the Overcoming Obstacles sessions. And if you need some additional help, just reach out to me at a2bforme.info/15withdon, and we can schedule a 15-minute strategy call for you and help you get things rolling. All right, well, I'm going to back out of here and make this thing full screen for you so you can see what we're doing a little bit better. Again, module 1, we're going to go over summary and reflection. So we're going to go back and just pick and choose some of the highlights. Make sure that you got some of the really key points to the first 9 sessions. It's not an end-all because I want you to go back. If you hadn't been through all the sessions, go back and catch them. But just want to make sure that you at least picked up these points. And of course, one of the first points that we want to go over is that stuff happens. Now, some of you may have another word for stuff than I have up here, but stuff does happen, and you just need to understand that and realize that and accept it. Because setbacks and obstacles, they're par for the course. Whenever you're trying to do something challenging, and if you're not going to go after something and fail and have a rough time with it, is it really worth going after? But those efficiently, and that's really what we talked about a lot here in the first 9 lessons, is efficiency. If you do those effectively and efficiently, they're the same people that have successful lives, and it's just habits. You just got to develop those habits. Again, in our A to B for Me strategy, it's thoughts, actions, habits, then character and destiny. And so we want to get your thoughts right, get your actions set correctly, and then your habit formation will start to work, or you're getting rid of the bad habits or modifying habits. But the main thing you just got to realize here, folks, is that stuff's going to happen. Anything worth obtaining is going to have a challenge, and you have to be willing to understand that and accept it. And fear, that's the most common cause of each obstacle you face in life. We have these fears from who knows where. Maybe most of them, if you sit down with a psychologist, are always going to go back to mama or daddy and your childhood, what happened back then. And I kind of laugh at that. I'm not really scoffing at that. My daughter has a master's in psychology, so I'd get my tail whooped for that. But the main thing is, a lot of things did happen back in your childhood. Things that have just stuck with you because your mind was open, back then, accepting these things, believing these things. You may have developed some fears, but you just have to figure out a way to get around those. But just to understand that you're not alone. Everyone has fears. Even the folks that are you think are 10 foot tall and bulletproof, they've got fears. When they go, when we go in front of a big group to speak, there's butterflies there. It's not like it's just nothing, I mean, these things now, there's no fear. I've been doing them for so long, it's so simple. But when you go out to do big things that you don't do every single week, every single day, there's fear there. So just realize that it's just a common cause, and it's going to be there for every obstacle that you face in your life. So you just have to accept that. Your previous decisions were made to work around your fears in many cases. You're sitting here in this maze. You need to climb out of fear, but you're just not willing to hop on that ladder and climb up and get out of it. So you're just trying to work around your fears. And those workarounds, they're just less optimal solutions. They're not really what you need to be doing, because the challenges you face today are the result of the fact that you didn't step up to the plate. You didn't accept the challenge to overcome that fear. that you say, well, I'll just go do this. I'll just go do that because that's just too big of a thing for me. Well, no, just go after it. Take it on. Make it happen, because all those things that you did to avoid that fear are just workarounds. And a lot of times I talk to real estate agents, insurance agents, salespeople, and of course, what's that biggest fear? The biggest fear is just cold calling. Well, my goodness gracious, how are you going to ever meet anybody new if you don't go cold calling? If you don't pick up the phone and call people, how are you ever going to know if people are even interested? So all these workarounds, today, oh, well, I just send them emails, and I'll send them some letters, and I'll do things on Facebook. Yeah, well, those are just workarounds, and yeah, you might be able to gain some clients and make some headway with your goals, but you know what you need to do. Just do it. And then I tell you what, you're going to start seeing some optimal solutions for a change. Direct solutions, that's what we talked about. I think it's lesson 4, lesson 5. They're the ones who are going to provide you the fast results. Just take it on. I mean, that looks a lot like the A to B for me strategy there, doesn't it? One to the other. And that's really what we talk about at A to B for me. You've got to get your thoughts right. Once you get your thoughts right, get your subconscious on board, in your conscious mind, understanding what the subconscious needs and how it's going to handle these different situations, you can start working on your actions. Because if you don't have your subconscious on board and your positive thoughts and everything in place, once you get to a stumbling block and get to a little fear in that action block, then you're done, because you're going to retreat right back into whatever habit that you've done before that didn't work. So you've got to do that so you can develop these good habits. And once you get your habits all where they need to be, aligned with your core values, and your character will start showing out. And that's what's going to take you. That's what people are going to notice. And that's what's going to take you to your destiny in whatever area of success that you're going after. But the direct solutions, they're just frequent. They're just the simplest solution. If you just look at it and go, A, what's A and what's B and what's the line in between here? What's the simplest solution? That's what a direct solution is. But you're uncomfortable with it and you don't want to implement it because, oh man, it's just too much. I don't want to go do that. I don't want to be talking to those people. I don't want to read that. I don't want to study. I don't want to do it. Well, so what? Do it. It's what you need to do. There are things in life, and if you want them, you have to do certain things. And those are called direct solutions, and they're going to get you fast results. So quit him-hawing around about it and get out there and do it. The simplest solution is going to probably be the most uncomfortable solution to implement, but you need to do it anyway. So just get out your little Nike thing and just do it, right? and the bottom line here is discomfort equals growth. If you're in health and fitness, if you're eating something that's nasty, it's probably good for you, right? We've all heard that. If it tastes too good, spit it out because it's not good for you. But discomfort equals growth. We know that. And the question that you have to ask yourself is, how much discomfort can you withstand to be successful? Are you willing to take on some discomfort to get growth? And if you're not, you're not going to be successful. This picture of this light bulb thing reminds me every time, I go to get out an extension cord, right? Somebody just want to forget the project. I don't want to do this anymore, right? Well, this little picture probably sold more battery operated drills than anything in the world. I guess you don't have to worry about extension cords anymore. But sometimes you just have to untangle things to get them right, and then voila, the light bulb comes on, and you were there. So be willing to at least sit back and analyze this in your journal, hopefully your Phoenix journal, and figure out how much discomfort are you really willing to take on if you want this growth. And that's what we do here at A to B for me. One of the things we do is sit down with you when we're going through your strategy and what you want to do on each section of your goals, and say, okay, what's the discomfort, and are we willing to do that? And if we do that, what's the growth that we're going to attain? And if you do that, then what's the result? What's the success for that? So this is a huge question for you. How much discomfort can you withstand to be successful? Creativity. We talked about the fact that creativity is really underappreciated. I mean, many setbacks are little more than inconveniences. They're just little things that you're just not willing to do. But when you apply your creativity to the situation, it just they go away. You just got to get in there and take care of them. I mean, just well, doggone, if I can't do it this way, can I do it this way? Just think of different ways to do things. We don't all do things the same way. We can, and I'm not talking about going around things again, and not sitting there and facing your fears, but I'm talking about creative solutions. If you don't have the skill set, if you don't have the mindset, if you don't, if things just physically you can't get it done, then you have to be creative and figure out how you can get that done. Do you need to sub something out to someone else? Do you need to go get some more education? Do you need to get a mentor, a coach or something to help you get through this? What do you need? But sit back and think about it before you quit. Get out that color balance. Okay, what do I need to color in here to get it going? Let's get your creativity loading and start looking at these things before you give up. Just go ahead and sit back and say, okay, what are all the options, and how can I make this happen? Okay. First thing you got to know is, do you want it to happen? Do you really want it to happen? And we go over that in the 5 days of you. But do you really want it to happen? If you really want it to happen, then we can sit down and look at the creative options to make that happen for yourself. Panic or calm, situations that appear to be hopeless rarely are. I don't know what I'm going to do. He left me. She left me. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. I'll never find anybody like that again in my life. There's only 18 billion people on this earth. I'm never going to find the right one. Well, the bottom line is you take a left turn into panic, and you're just going to go right off the damn cliff. Well, turn right. Just turn right. Take 3 deeps. Settle down. Because the key is to keep your cool and just continue to work through it. I tell you, there's very few things in life that we go through that are fatal. I mean, I'm not talking about disease. I'm not talking about these things. You can even work through those. I talked to a lady yesterday about cancer, and yeah, I mean, we talk about E plus R equals O a lot. Event plus response equals outcome. And there's always a dispute and a big controversy over the E plus R equals O when it comes to something like cancer, because you 100% responsibility. Well, it was not my fault I got it. Well, maybe some of your lifestyle, the things you did in your lifestyle did, caused cancer. I mean, some of the things that you do, I know, my mom, she had colon cancer and a lot of diabetes, just never really cared. So those might be some of the things, or there's a lot of things environmentally that could cause it, but don't lay that on you necessarily. But the fact is, the event is you've got cancer. There's going to be an outcome, and the outcome is really quick death or slow death. Or you want to hang in there with your family, right? So figure out what response you want, and if your response is I'm going to hang in here, then I'm telling you what, the mind will probably say, okay, let's give it a go. Let's roll with it. Now I'm going to get deep into psychology here, or deep into medical expertise here. I'm just saying your mind has such a huge impact on what happens. But the bottom line is, we're not talking about a fatal disease. Most of the time, we're just talking about some little bitty setback. Something happened, and you think the world is over. I mean, you're in debt. Well, doggone it, bankruptcy isn't the end of the world. It's going to mess you up for a few years, but what would you rather have? Stress every day from it, or just let it go and start over? So you got to think about these things and realize that it's just a question of, are you going to turn left and go into the straight panic mode and fall off the cliff? Or are you going to look for another road, another way to make this happen by staying calm and cool and collective and work through it? All right. Well, how about gaining a fresh perspective? That's really what we're talking about when we're talking about turning left or turning right. Turning left wasn't very good, was it? There was a cliff right there. You fall off and it's over. But you have to find a way to ease your anxiety and adopt a fresh perspective. And this is just controlling your subconscious or your unconscious mind, settling it down and saying, hey, look, and how would you do that going forward, right? Well, going forward is what you should have done the first time, was when you work on your plan and your strategy, and you look at your goals and your sub goals and all the things you need to do, your journey to get there, wherever there is. you need to look at the setbacks that could possibly happen. You need to understand, if I get to here, this is a roadblock that could happen. Now, what am I going to do if I get there? So it's planning these things out and realizing that it's just not going to be unicorns and rainbows. You're going to have situations come up. So if you've got that planned, you've already really handled gaining a fresh perspective, because you're saying, well, we knew this could happen. And the subconscious will say, yep, I remember we did talk about that. We did discuss that, right? So you got to find a way to ease your anxiety, and that's the best way, is planning it properly. And that's what most of your issues are. If you're consistently failing and not making things happen in your life, is that you just didn't have the proper plan. And you need to get with someone, whether it's a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever it is, a coach or mentor, somebody. We're here to help you if you want. But find a way to ease that anxiety and adopt a fresh perspective. So again, take 3 deeps, and let's say, okay, let's get it back in focus, and realize that yeah, it didn't work that way. So that's just what failure is. I've told you this many times. Failure is just one way that didn't work. So we got that one out of the way. It was an education. Yep, gave that a shot. That didn't work. Let's try it again. Again, that's why I love the game of golf so much. A lot of people don't like it. But you get out there, you hit a bad shot, and you go, yep, that didn't work. So what do? You get in the cart and go back to the clubhouse and start drinking a 12-pack of beer? No, you just go find the ball and you hit it again, right? And you'll just go through your mental mindset, hit it again, make it right, get it in there, and get through the hole. So again, find a way to ease that anxiety, whatever it is, meditation, taking 3 deeps, just get your mind right and find a fresh perspective. And believe in yourself. You just have to. You've got to have that belief, and the only way you're going to get that belief is to set things out the right way, get the conscious mind and the subconscious mind on board together. And once you believe in yourself to overcome failures and challenging times, it's really all over, because you know you can do it. This is the bottom line, is just that belief. It's such a strong emotion that it'll get you through. Now, we're not talking about hope being a strategy. We're just saying you got to believe in yourself. And how do you believe in yourself? When you do have a strategy, when you do have a plan, and it does appear logical to the subconscious mind, so that they're on board. It's on board immediately, but it has enough emotion and much fun and enough challenge in there to keep the conscious mind excited. But you got to believe in yourself. So belief is just a huge part of it. And that's one of the first foundation of A to B for me is thoughts, because that's where we really beat up on the subconscious and be sure that it understands positive thinking, understands the thought process, and how we're going to get this thing rolling. And self-reflection, and that's a big part of it. And we're going to go through some self-reflection exercises here, because it's all about reflect, plan, execute. We talk about this all the time. You got to reflect back what happened right and what happened wrong. We got to plan again, and then we have to execute. So let's look at some self-reflection here. First one. Saw this picture in one of the sessions, but what obstacles have I faced in the past? Was I able to overcome them? And do I think my performance would improve today? So take that one down. Put that one in your journal. Let's look at this one. What obstacles have I faced in the past? So look at some things that you've done, and again, you saw the goal line up there, and it was scary, and there are a lot of things in your way, and you're afraid had all these fears, but you overcome them. You overcome the situation, and did you think that your performance today would improve, or maybe you didn't overcome it? Maybe you backed off. Maybe you had to call for help. Get me off this damn bridge, right? But look at this one as self-reflection, and let's if you want to get on a strategy call, what's one of the first ones you want to talk about. It's not the 4 questions that you'll get that we want to go over when you set up a strategy call, but we can do a strategy call on this maybe in the future. But what obstacles have I faced in the past? What was I able to overcome them? And do I think my performance would improve today? And for those of you that are already a client, guess what we're going to be talking about next. So in our next session, be ready for this one. I'll be ready for this one. How has fear created the challenges I face today? And are you still carrying along fear like a ball and chain with you? Or, I mean, is it just like continually holding you back? I mean, we got to look at this, and you got to be honest with yourself and honest with your coach and your mentor about what your fears are. If we don't know what your fears are, we can't help you. But how? And you say, well, how can you help me? Well, I can tell you because we probably had those same fears, or we know someone who's had that fear, and we can get them with you, and we can go, okay, I had this, and this is what happened. This is how I got through it. Now, can you get through it the same way? I don't know, but we got to give it a shot, right? But 2, 3, 4 minds are better than one. Let's figure out how to get you through this. But you cannot drag fear along like a ball and chain the rest of your life. You'll just stop. You'll get tired of it, and in worst case scenario, you're just going to drag it through life, and you're never going to reach anything because you can't get any momentum. So think about, how has fear created the challenges I face today? Number 3, when am I most creative? Let's think about creativity again. When has my creativity created a solution that I would have otherwise missed? So think back. Give yourself some credit here. When did you come across something? And these all sound like interview questions sometimes. And if you're a recruiter, these might be some questions for you to use when you're talking to prospective clients, or if you're a business owner. It might ask, when was your creativity, when did your creativity create a solution that you would have otherwise missed? But think about this. Give yourself credit for it, like I said, and go in here and look at this and say, yeah, I did this before. Because what we're doing here is we're feeding the subconscious the menu that it needs to know that when you get to these other situations, it can choose that item off the menu and say, hey, we did this before. And now all of a sudden the subconscious isn't beating you up over this situation. It's saying, hey, I think we can do this because we did this before. And that's what we want to do. We want to get these things seeded into your subconscious, so that it knows that who you are and knows what your abilities are. And I don't know what you did to get through that situation, but think about it, and think about when you're most creative. It's probably not when you're in the heat of battle. Maybe some of you it is. I mean, I know I do some really good work when the pressure's on. And that might be, but you don't want to continually be in that situation, because now you're in the wrong quadrant. If you've been on my weekly challenge, you're in the wrong quadrant. You're in the quadrant 1, which is a crisis all of a sudden. But you want to know when you're most creative. A lot of times it's when you step back and just look at the situation again, refocus and readjust, and get that different perspective. But ask yourself this question. Number 4, have I allowed my past failures to influence my belief in myself? Well, for most of you, the answer is probably yes. I'm not going to answer it for you, but there you are. Now, how is that affecting my current life experiences? Do I feel less capable of being successful in the future because of my past? And how can I gain an attitude more prone to success? So think about these things. When we're talking about failure and success, of course, we always want to rip success out of failure. But have I allowed my past failure to influence my belief in myself? And really, really be honest with yourself when we're in this. It does no good to lie to yourself, and it does no good to hide these things from a coach or a mentor. Can't help you if you're going to do that. But how's that affecting my current life experiences? How do I feel less capable of being successful in the future because of my past? I mean, it really, really messed me up. So now I'm just, no, woe is me, going around like Eeyore, and whoa, here's another day. I got to go through this. Is that what it did to you? Well, we got to knock you out of it, because we got to figure out how you can gain an attitude more prone to success. And there's so much there for you. Again, in Deep Dive to Destiny in 84 days. So all those programs are set up for is to help you not only gain but maintain that attitude that's going to help you be more prone to success. All right, well, let's look at our affirmations and things for today. We've got several things for you I talked about. Let me hop up here and pull those up. The first one is how to overcome challenges checklist. So if you're in the A to B for Me community, we've got several things for you this week in the resources tab. This is one of them. It's a nice little checklist that can help you go through. And it's like any checklist. Once you go through it a few times, your subconscious will latch on to it and you'll know what you're really doing. But it's there for you up in resources. We've also got some cool graphics this week, like as we always do, for you, to put in your journal or put on your mirror or in your car visor, whatever it is. But it's how to overcome challenges checklist. It's short and simple, but we've got some really good things in here to help you go through and overcome the different challenges. Things like evaluate the challenge you're facing, expect the best of the situation, remove negative thoughts, all these things we go through, find a mentor, take advantage of their experience with the same challenges. But if you're in the group, just go up to resources and grab that checklist. Also have for you, if you're in the A to B for Me community in resources, a module 1 quiz. So it's got some key points. So it's got a little quiz for you. Not hard. It's all multiple choice. And of course, at the end, not going to be mean to you. I'm going to give you the answers just like your favorite teacher in college. So you do have a quiz for you to take. And it's just to make sure that you are really getting what you needed out of it. And for those of you in the group that are in some of the levels where we do our coaching levels, go ahead and be ready to talk about this as we go through. And if you missed it, we'll help you. And if you got it, we'll reinforce it. So be sure you take that quiz. All right. Well, we're going to do our affirmation for this week, which is there is always a way to overcome my obstacles. I have everything I need to overcome my challenges. I'm smart enough to find the solution and become more insightful with each passing day. I can create brilliant solutions that resolve my challenges as quickly and easily as possible. My determination is the stuff of legends. I am persistent and see solutions through to completion. I laugh in the face of challenges and they soon disappear. I am wise. I have the wisdom to determine a positive course of action regardless of the circumstances. I am highly intuitive and guided by a higher power. I am open to all the possibilities and regularly tap into my higher self. I recognize that the answers are right in front of me. My past success is overcoming obstacles provides me with the confidence to know that I can handle new challenges as well. Challenges are learning opportunities, and I welcome new knowledge. I am grateful for my challenges. They help me to grow. I am successful, and successful people are great at finding solutions. I am pleased with my victories and look forward to many more as I conquer new challenges. Today, I'm excited to be in search of a brilliant solution for a current challenge. I can overcome any hindrance and move past it with exuberance. I am a positive force in the universe. That's a good one for you. Like I said, you can either you come up and write that down or all these things. If you want to reach out to me, I'm happy to give you a copy of it. But of course, if you're in a group, it's in the resources tab. And here's your self-reflection questions for this affirmation. Number 1, what is my greatest challenge right now? So as we get into your mentoring sessions, think about that. What is my challenge right now? And most of us, we've talked about that. We know what those things are. But what resources do I have to apply to a solution? So if you're not in the group, these are some of the things that we talk about. What's your greatest challenge and what resources do you have to apply the solution? Because what do we want to do? We want to be creative and we want to help you use some of those creative, direct solutions to make things happen for yourself, because you want to know, how can I use these resources to overcome my challenge? But you have to know what all your resources are. And a lot of the resources that you currently have, you probably don't realize you even have them because you haven't considered them. So that's part of what the creative direct solution is all about. But those are your self-reflection questions and your affirmation for this week. Again, if you're not in the A to B for Me community, go ahead and reach out to me if you want. It's real simple to join, by the way. But we don't jack you up on high dollar stuff. But reach out to me. We're happy to talk to you about our different levels and what we can do and how we can help you. Again, that first call is free anyway. What we're going to do up next? Well, we're going to go into Module 2, right? Now, if today was the summary and reflection for Module 1, just kind of makes sense. So we might be going to do Module 2 next time. Module 2 is only 4 sessions. But what we're going to do is we're going to discuss some tricks to motivate yourself to accomplish great things and continue that motivation throughout your journey to achieving your goals. So we're going to talk about Big Mo. If you were with me in the Compound Effect or in any of the deep dives that we had that were Darren Hardy, he talks about Big Mo a lot. So we're going to be talking about motivation and how to really get yourself rolling and how you can really accomplish some awesome things again and keep moving in the direction of your dreams, because that's what it's all about here at A to B for Me. But thanks for attending. I want you to have an awesome week. Review this. If you need to go back again and review any of the other sessions, go to YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to that so you don't miss any more. They'll come up to you. You can go up to Anchor FM. We've got them all there in podcast version, so you can just listen to them, just the audio part of it. And of course on Facebook, A to B for Me group up there. We've got these posted in the video section, and in Instagram we've got them up there, and then in Twitter we've got them up there as well. So there's lots of ways to get to us and get take in this knowledge, and that's what we're there for. It's why we're doing this. But to schedule a one-on-one strategy session, again, go to atobeforme.info/15 with Dawn. You can pick a time. Again, when you pick that time, you're going to get an email confirmation. It's going to give you 4 questions that you want to go over. Be sure that you've got those 4 questions thought through and you're ready to discuss those, because we want to make our 15 minutes very efficient and valuable for both of us. But until then, I'm going to hop back in here and say goodbye to you. But I want you to obviously just keep rolling this week and keep moving in the direction of your dreams. And I hope to meet some of you in a strategy call that I haven't met before. But reach out and check those times. But above all, this week, just keep moving in the direction of your dreams. Reach out to us tomorrow. Thrive Thursday is tomorrow. I got a really, really good one. I say it every week. It seems to get better and better and better. A great Thrive Thursday tomorrow with James Clear stuff. So reach out to us and we'll go over some great stuff on Thrive Thursday.